Good morning. It's morning for me anyways. Sitting out in the back deck enjoying my cup of coffee. Actually bulletproof coffee today. Just want to show you a couple things that you might find helpful, useful, or just downright boring. Who knows? It all depends. That is magnificent. The sounds of the weekend are already starting here, Saturday morning for me. Which means people working on their houses. The guy behind me has a boat on a trailer, and he starts that engine up quite often. Although I've never seen it absent from the side of his house. So maybe he does take it somewhere and put it in water, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a land boat that he just starts up every now and then. Oh, that's too funny. Anyways, let's talk about a great pipe for a beard. Now, let me just fire up a pipe. I never ever understood the whole, let me just back this up a little bit. I never understood the whole pipe in the morning thing because I'm a nighttime pipe smoker. So I'm going to use my all-time favorite, which is, I get at pipesandcigars.com. It's called Daybreak. It's a very, very, very mild English. And I'm just kind of putting it in like this, scooping it up and just kind of shaking it. And then just barely packing it down. And that's all I want. This is not, and this is in a Cobbett Shire, which is made by Missouri Meerschaum. I'll put the link down below where you can get one of these. It's really one of my favorite pipes of all time. Let's just take a quick look at it. One of the reasons why I like this pipe, ever since I grew a huge beard, and when you have a huge beard, you know, there's things that you have to think about that you never had to think about before. One of those things is fire. Another thing is things that are spinning at high RPMs. I mean, just getting your beard caught on zippers and stuff. You know, when I lay down, my beard kind of like goes on the pillow. You know, when I roll over, it might stay here like this, right? Or it goes under my armpit and I end up yanking on it or whatever. So there we go. It's unplugged today, nothing in it, just kind of flowing and growing and blowing in the wind like a curtain in the wind. Cobbett Shire, let me just fire this up. You can see how far it is away from my beard. Whereas, see that? So fire is okay here. Now if you have oil and balm on your beard and you get it near flames, believe me, your beard will act like a fuse. It'll be like, whoosh, and just burst. It will. Hair just usually kind of like disintegrates really quick in a flame. With oil and balm, it keeps burning like a fuse. And it doesn't go out right away. So pluck a hair out, coat it with oil or balm, and then light it. You'll see I did a video on that last year. So it's pretty far away from my face, side view. A regular pipe, let me take the stem out of it. A regular pipe, which I smoke many of them, is usually about this close, because you know the stem might be an inch or two, and it's usually that close. This right here, it is such an awesome pipe. You are gonna love this. Love, L-O-V-E, love this pipe. It's got a acorn bottom. It's a corn cob, but it's filled with plaster. In other words, it doesn't have like those little holes like corn cobs have. So it's smooth, smoothish, I should say. A wooden shank, a metal ferrule to keep the wood from splitting, and then a long Churchwarden type stem. I've heard many reasons why they call them churchwardens. One is the churchwarden, the guy who was actually watching the church at night, watching the altar, because there's so many valuable things on an altar in a church, basically a security guard, could be firing up his pipe and still be looking up and keeping track of everything. So that's one of the stories I heard. This is kind of like Dunhill's Early Morning Pipe, or I should say Early Morning Pipe Match from Pipes and Cigars. And then that got discontinued, and I went on Early Morning Pipe, and I didn't like it that much. It was kind of, I actually liked the copy of Early Morning Pipe. So then every company makes their what they call like morning kind of blends. And so I tried a thing called Daybreak, and it's by pipesandscigars.com. It is my all-time favorite pipe tobacco. It's a very, very, very light English blend. Let me fire this up again. I just did the charring light. So with a cup of coffee in the morning, this is so badass. I'm not kidding you. And it's not nasty breath either. It's not like smoking a cigar in the morning if you do that, because you know, like, no matter how much you brush your teeth that day, I just hope you don't have a date that night. Ask your girlfriend or your wife what it's like to kiss you after a cigar. It's a lot different than a pipe, take my word for it. Oh, that is so good. So here we go, the Cobbett Shire Churchwarden. Love it. I absolutely love it. It's a little windy out right now. But the reason for this video is I want to show you some of the best possible pipes for big beardsmen. Not your average face beard, but big beards. I'm talking like second and third button down. Big beards. One viewer of mine said, gosh, your beard looks different from day to day. And I said, you know, unless you use product on your beard and shape it every day, it's going to look different based upon the weather. It's kind of like a living, breathing barometer. It's affected by the weather. That's just the way it is. Now, I'm looking at my beard right now on the monitor, and I like the way it looks right now. I could be on the beach right now, and what I would do is I would probably tie it and just kind of let the sun get to my neck and chest. Otherwise, you literally, it's like wearing an umbrella on your face. It shades your skin, so you don't get tan under here unless you purposely are into that, unless you like move the beard away. But a lot of times when I'm laying down, I just tie it up and put the beard to the side. So, all right. So let me show you a couple things. Churchwarden pipes are pretty long. Let me show you the ones that I have. I don't have a lot. I don't have a massive pipe collection. I think I have about 60 pipes. This is a mini Churchwarden. This was hand carved for me in Puerto Rico, and this keeps the flame far from my beard. I love it. It's a very, very small bowl. Literally, I mean pinky small. So it's a 10-minute pipe. And then I have a Savinelli Churchwarden. That's a long dog. Now, I love smoking this, believe it or not, when I'm wearing a top hat. Sounds weird, but you got like these weird rituals. I have to wear a top hat to smoke this. And I do. They're very novel. Most people that get these don't smoke these all the time, but once you get a huge beard, I'm talking a big beard like this, that goes from being in control and obedient to being huge. Next one is a Missouri Meerschaum, 60 years old. Look at that dog, man. I got that in an auction. That thing is old, and it's stamped. Can you see that? It's stamped on the bottom. I love this thing, man. It smokes like a beast. But I love that. It's older than me. I love it. And then what else is there? There's the Tavern Pipes. They're clay pipes from the 16 and 1700s. But look at that dog, man. It's 18 inches long. And they actually kept these on a rack near the fireplace, and the heat would disinfect it, and different people would use it. Some say they're long because people would break them off you know, as they use it. Luckily, this hasn't been broken. These are great for smoking Virginias because Virginias burn really hot and they just smoke the best in clay pipes. And I always hold it by this. If you try to hold this, you'll burn yourself. And it's hard to hold just that. But if you're gonna keep it in your mouth, this is not a bad, that little nub on the bottom. That's not meant for balancing because it ain't gonna balance. So, or a lot of times I'll just smoke it like this. That's a clay pipe. See? Clay. Nice. And then there's, this is a Missouri Meerschaum freehand. It's a corn cob. Looks like a whole corn cob, doesn't it? That's a big dog. That keeps the flame away as well. That is a huge, huge hole and very deep. That will, the tobacco in there will last you a long time. Although it's not a clencher for me anyways. Clenching means you can just like put it in your mouth and let it sit there. This one I like to hold, and like with my palm. But I think it's too heavy for clenching. Believe me, there's a difference between this and this. This one here, you don't feel anything. There's no weight. It's not like putting pressure on your teeth or anything like that. So that's the Missouri Meerschaum freehand, they call it. And it's just like, it's literally a corn cob. Real rough on top. It's rustic. And then early in my piping days, very early in my piping days, I had a maple dowel that was like a rod in the closet made out of maple. So I took bamboo, like tomato stakes basically, and reamed out the middle and drilled them on the top, cut a piece, you know, cut a 2-inch piece, drilled it in the top, drilled it in the side, and I made my own. And it smokes as good or better than the most expensive pipes that I've had. I made this for myself. I mean, I look like a real redneck. You should see if I'm out in public smoking this dog. People are like, what? Especially if I'm wearing like a camo hat. But it is killer, absolute killer. I actually have one watcher. This is so funny. There's a dude who is a subscriber, lives in a jungle. Literally, he's like South America. Literally, no electricity, no running water. Like, I don't know if he's like some indigenous tribe, but the pictures that I've seen, the dude's like wearing like a loincloth. And he's got an iPhone. I go figure that out. So he must like go somewhere and charge it up. But he's like literally like squatting in a jungle. And he made one like this. He made something. He carved it like with a knife and put like a bamboo shoot on it. And the guy was like smoking some whatever he smoked in his village kind of thing. And it was really cool. But it's another homemade one. Same thing. Drill it out on the top, drill it out on the side. I ream it out with a coat hanger. So this is, you know, so there's great airflow. Again, a little rednecky. Well, actually a lot rednecky, but you know what? It is, honestly, it smokes so darn good. It's crazy. This one here, I just took the Dremel to it and just made just made like a weird pattern and kind of like, you know, let me turn it around. You know what? There's no rules. Honestly, when it comes to pipes, there's no rules, except just don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. So, to me, those are the best pipes for the big beardsmen. The regular beardsman, you can smoke anything, but there's times when your beard gets big. You want to be careful. Like I do, I like the stubbier pipes, but I find myself charring them first away from myself and then bringing it close to my mouth because, and it all depends what kind of lighter. Like there's a lot of times I can control this, never use a torch, because a torch is just so hot. This is just a Bic and a toker poker. Just a few suggestions for you if you have a big beard and you like pipes or you want to start smoking a pipe. So good. Honestly, this is a slice of paradise. A cup of coffee in the morning and Daybreak tobacco in a Cobbetshire Churchwarden. Cheers, man. Thanks for watching.